Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. I am on for my December design team project for Whichcraft Do You Do? And I thought we'd take a little bit of a look back because I was going through all my Christmas goodies and I stumbled across this. Now this was a design team project for Christmas last year that I did for Whichcraft Do You Do? So I can't believe it's actually been over a year since I started doing the design team projects for them. Absolutely amazing. It's been a whirlwind of a year and I've loved every bit of it. So I dragged this back out. It is a ephemera folder that I made to keep all my little bits and pieces in so that they're easier to find. So I thought, well, I might as well use it, find some bits to use for this project. So this was made using predominantly the pockets and that came from the ephemera display pocket set 2. I chose the ones that were red and green so that they would go with the theme for Christmas. And I also used their folio collection to make these little folios to hold bits and pieces in. And I think these bits came off of the folios as well, and I used them as pockets. So what I did was stick a lot of the bits and pieces in here that I used that year. I did make a journal and I have a lot of the bits and pieces that came from the kit that I used for the journal, and that was mainly the Christmas Images and Ephemera set 1. And it came with a lot of beautiful pictures here. So I thought it'd be great to use some of these up a bit. And I thought I could do some little embellishments that I can use in future Christmases using some of that. So I'll give you a quick look anyway while we're here. But there's small bits that I can use as well, and words, tags, and then I've put in other bits and pieces, little cards, authentic ephemera, book pictures, all sorts. But yeah, we've got heaps of this sort of thing left over from the kit that I can use, so I think we'll get using some of those today, because that's what I made this for. Makes it so much easier to see some of the bits I've got and get using them. So, okay. So I think what I'll do is grab this folio out and maybe some of the words, some of these words. And I think some of these bigger ones would probably be perfect. Just checking. Got little bits there as well. But I think for now that should be plenty to start with. So I'll put that to the side. So other bits and pieces I've grabbed out, which I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing, so we'll see. But I really want to start using my wrapping paper. I've collected a whole lot from the secondhand stores, and if I get given a gift, I keep the wrapping paper. So, yeah, it'd be good to use some of that up as well. Do something a bit scrappy. I've grabbed a pile of my blank book pages. As you know, I love using those in my projects, and I've got stacks of them. I have also grabbed a couple of Christmas sort of books and papers. I have some leftover Christmas music here and a Christmas book and some more of that music, so we might use some of that as well. And then I grabbed all sorts of other stuff. I don't know if I'll use it or not, but I've got it here if I want to use it. I've grabbed out some of my book pages here. Now these ones are quite brittle, so we might end up grabbing some either fabric or some washi tape for the edges, but we will start by, now these ones will fold this way. They're quite thick, these. Oh. And then we've got our music pages. So these ones I will fold this way. think with these ones we will get rid of some of the excess white. Now, I just grab my mat, or else I end up very crooked when I do this sort of thing. That way I can butt one end up against a line. I mean, I don't want it perfect, but I do want it not like the dog's hind leg, as we say. And then I might do it again, doesn't have to be perfect, like a bit of variety down the middle a bitish. Then I'll take these white edges off. So that we end up with that. So I will repeat that process with my music pages. Now with my old book pages, I'll do a similar thing. They're a little big for what I want to do, because we want these to fit into pockets in our journals and that, so I will tear them down a little bit. I'll probably make them a similar size. So again, we will attempt to get them semi-straight. And take some of this off. I think that'll be pretty good. So I will repeat that process with the rest of my pages. This is where our end book pages are going to come in. We're going to use those to reinforce the inside and add a little bit of writing room as well. And the way I will do that is move those out of the way. I'll just grab a piece and do the whole rip thing, so it doesn't have to fit perfectly. You could cover the whole piece at the start and then rip it out, but I do find that it gets bulky and difficult to fold if the paper covers the spine, so my preference is to do it this way. So I'll just sort of line it up with where the crease is. And then fold it over. I think I moved my paper then. Yep. I've not long gotten out of bed, so I'm still trying to wake up. Like that. And fold it over until we see the edge a bit. I suppose it doesn't even matter if it goes over, really. And then you can rip it like that, but I'm probably better off using my ruler. So that should fit good in there. And then do the same with that top edge, so that you have a piece that fits in there. If it sticks out a bit, it's not going to matter because these are going to be scrappy anyway. So and then we'll do one for the other side. So there are 2 pieces to line it with now, so we can just stick those down with some stick glue. If I can get the lid off. Get a glue page. I've just kept some of the more sort of glossy pages to use for glue pages. When I'm ripping up magazines and books and that sort of thing. Now I find that vintage book page doesn't stick to itself very well, so I won't be relying on the stick glue. It's just to tack it down, and I probably will do some sewing. That still folds. And you see a few edges here and there of ripped bits and that, but that's the look we're going for, so we will keep that. If you find it annoys you too much sticking out, you can just trim that bit off, which I might afterwards. So that makes a lot sturdier little bookie. Just had a bit of a break, and I put these under just a pile of my embellishing bits. Well, I shot down the shops because we were running out of bread, so my son and I went down to the shops to stock up and ended up coming home with a whole pile of junk. So I'm now filled up on some junk. I should be right for a while. So yeah, just to flatten them out a little bit because they were a bit curled. And let them dry, and they're looking good. Got a whole pile of them. So the next thing I want to do is I think we'll add a page in the middle just for a bit of extra writing space. So I've grabbed some more of my old book pages. Now, you might not have as many of these. I'm pretty sure most of you won't have as many as me of these blank book pages. So, of course, you can use your tea-dyed paper or your copy paper or whatever you have. Yeah, I do use these a lot because I do have a lot from all the books that I've harvested that were heading out to the recycling. It's just a good way of using some of them before they go out. So I thought they would make great interior pages, so I just have to, I think I'll just tear these down to size like I have the rest of it. What I might just do is, if I fold them in half like this, probably be the easiest. And then see how much we need to rip off the height. I'll just get my mess out of the way. So we're pretty safe to rip this about there. And I can see the corners. I can rip that about there. So that'll be a page for this one. So what I'll do is make pages for the rest of them. I'm just doing the one sheet in there because we do want to slip these into pockets. I'll put them in the journals somehow, so we don't want too much bulk. And then what I might do is head off to my sewing machine. I do have some red thread in there. I think I'll just use that. So what I think I will do is I might do a straight stitch. I'll probably use straight stitch, I think. around my cover piece, and that will just ensure that these bits stay on. And then I will put my page in the centre, and I'll just straight stitch up the centre to hold my paper in. I think that's probably the easiest and best way to do. I don't often do that method of putting pages in because I can't usually sew straight. So we'll see how we go this time. I've finished all of my sewing, so I've done some zigzag stitch, and I've done straight stitch, and I've done lots of crooked stitch as well. So yes, lots of sewing, and I did some in red and I did some in green. I think I prefer the green. That will go really nicely with the pictures from the Whichcraft Do You Do kit. So as you can see, I've just sewn, find the middle net. As you can see, I've just sewn down the middle there. I wanted it sort of neater on the outside, so I actually sewed from the outside so that the messier stitching is on the inside. So yes, I went around the outside of the cover and then put my page in and just sewed down, and I back stitched when I put the page in. When I did the cover, I just pulled the threads through and tied them off. So all these books are ready now to decorate. I haven't inked yet. I probably should. I think they'll look a lot better. So maybe we will ink one now. I'm not going to ink them all, so don't panic. I'll just use my gathered twigs here. Go around the edge a bit. Now I will decorate one or two with you, and then I will go off and do the rest. And then we can come back and have a look at them all. Okay, so that's what I'd be doing, is inking around those edges. And then we've got to start figuring out what we want to put on them. So I might grab this picture. Isn't that beautiful, just as is? And then I just dragged out a plethora of Christmas bits and pieces. Now, my main aim was to try and use up some of my wrapping paper again, but I do have a lot of other stuff as well, so, and it depends how it looks on whichever one. I could always put a bit of wrapping paper on the inside if I don't want it layering my picture. It's not that bad though. It's not that good, but it's not that bad. So I'm just going to rip some bits out so we've got some options. It's just we keep all of this stuff, so why not use it? Well, I keep all this stuff, so why not use it, I should say. Not accusing everyone. So that's not too bad either. I didn't mind this one. Rip this side a bit. Let's do something like that. It does add a bit of colour, doesn't it? And so it's just really good to get using this sort of thing. We also have the words. Don't think one of those would do, but we do have all of these words. Though I'm not a huge fan of having words on everything. And they're all Merry Christmas. I don't want to put Merry Christmas on all of them, or do I? Just chop one out. Doesn't look too bad. Chop one of these ones out. I was thinking we don't want Merry Christmas on all of them in case they all go into the same book, but they won't go in the same book, will they? Black one definitely looks better there. And then I grabbed out lots of stars because I have so many and it would be good to get using them. And I grabbed out my bows and I grabbed out my ribbons. Yeah, I grabbed out everything. This is cute. Kind of like that as well. All right, I'm going to start by putting my paper down. Just use my Helmar tacky glue for this. Take the white edges off. So it'll be great to finish these and have them ready next year for journals. I haven't made a Christmas journal this year because I'm just too busy, but maybe next year I'll get an early start on things. Put that down. Now I could layer a lot more on that, but we want these to slip into pockets and I'm not a fan of a lot of bulk in most of my journals, so I think I'll keep these quite simple so they sit flattish. Now a ribbon. So put that across there. And chop off the overhang. Make sure we've got the edge stuck down nicely. And then why not add some of our stars for some bling? So we've got small ones, we've got big ones. These ones which are sort of lino or something. That's quite cute. I'll put that down there. Now I'll use my 450 for that, just to make sure it sticks nicely. Okay, now I've got my bows. I think that'd be a little bit too much, so let's have a look. It'll look cute up there, but it will cover up our word. Maybe we'll put it on one of our other ones. But so that is the front. Do something on the back as well. What have we got on the front? The angel. Maybe we'll put this one on the back. That will be nice. I might leave the inside for now. I might find some stamps or something to do on that afterwards, but I think it's going to be enough just to decorate the fronts of these tonight. So I'll do another one with yous, and then I might take them out into the lounge and sit down and do a pile, and come back on and show you. That's very sweet. That's going to be beautiful to slip into a pocket in a Christmas journal, and handy because there's heaps of writing space in there now. Right, so we'll do another one. Let's maybe do one of these ones. So that would look good with this because it's got the red sewing. And what pictures do we have? That's quite nice. I've got big Santa Claus. God, I've got all of my pictures all messed up now. Yeah, we had bigger ones here. That's quite nice. I think that one might be the go. Or that one. I like them both. I'm going to do this one. I'll just rip this a little bit more. Now that paper is quite fine, so I might just ink the edges of this one. I will use my 450 for this. It's not quite as wet as the tacky glue, so like I'll use it for the corner here. It's just if you've got a big area, sometimes you can see the lumps of it a bit. Okay. There's the lid. I can't find anything in this mess. So, well, we're doing that one, weren't we? Yeah, because I'm thinking of putting my bow on this one, and I think the brightness, although it would be really nice on that one too, wouldn't it? Decisions, just stick to your first one, Nat. Okay, so I'm going to do that. We're going to do a bow on this one. Might see if I can get a flatter sitting bow. This is my Merry Christmas one. Yeah, that's nice because that's vintage. I'll use some of that. Have a smaller piece here already. Just chop that there. Okay, let's start sticking this down. Put it down the bottom again. That's looking really good actually. Just using that vintage ribbon. Now try not to cut my paper. Now I've got a bow. So I'll put that down. Beautiful bows they are. I will link those down below if I remember, in case you want to go and check them out. I've got a massive bag of them here. 500. It saves you tying your own. Just love them. Stars maybe for this one. Got these little ones. Just grabbing a cotton tip to help me apply them. I think gold for this. Let's just see. That looks all right. That will do for the front of that one. Let that dry. And then we will find one for the back. We'll do that one because the blue will go with the blue on Santa. That one I'd ripped out for another project and not used. So we'll get using it. All right, so that's the two that we've done so far. Oh, they're beautiful. Yeah, I love them. And you know, the wrapping paper behind isn't bad. And what a great way to use it up. You saw I had a bag full. I'm sure I've got more hanging around somewhere too. I've got a few whole rolls of the stuff, and I don't tend to do much present wrapping these days, and I can't bear to throw the stuff out, so this will be a great way to use it up. So I will go finish off the other ones and we'll come back and have a look at them after. I have finished today's project, so we'll have a look at what I made after. Firstly, the ephemera folio that I showed at the start. If you're interested in making one of these for yourself, I will link down below the process video to where I made this one last year for last Christmas. So heaps handy, and it might be a little less bulky now that I have used up some of the digitals. It's a great way to store all of your digital Christmas ephemera ready for next year. So put that to the side. And here are all of our little booklets. I love the way these have turned out. So this is the first one, just some silver stars and a silver bow and ribbon. It was great because I have a lot of little scraps of your Christmas ribbon and the wrapping paper and that, so it was really good to use them, and the stars because I've got piles of them. And I love the way the wrapping paper looks behind the beautiful pictures from Whichcraft Do You Do. Now, these pictures I used in a journal last year, and I sprayed them with some tea dye solution. You can see some dots on this one. So that gave them the extra sort of vintage feel, which is lovely. So there's that one. So I haven't done anything to the inside. All I did was ink around the edge of my pages. So I just inked around the edge of the pages in this one because I figure I don't need to show you the inside of all of them because there's nothing in there yet. But when I go to use them, I think I will consider stenciling or stamping or adding extra embellishment then. So I've just sewn down the middle. So lots and lots of writing space that can be slipped into a little pocket, and then I've gone and embellished the back a little bit too. And oftentimes I just used a bit of the wrapping paper that I tore off of the front piece rather than throw it in the bin. We've got this one. They're gorgeous pictures in that kit to use for this sort of thing or making your own Christmas cards. Looks like I've got a bit of, it actually looks quite nice. Oh, now I pulled it off, it's taken some of the print off. A little bit of tinsel from ribbon accidentally stuck on the front of Santa there. So yeah, great way to use if you've got any end bits of your Christmas ribbons left over. Used some of my bows on them, which was fun as well. I thought that this paper would be too brittle and I'd have to washi tape on the edges here, but I've sewed through it and it's held together really well. So they're the nice thick vintage pages. So that one with the angels. I love this one. So they all have wrapping paper underneath, which I think has turned out beautifully. Great way to use up your wrapping paper from all your Christmas presents. Oops, didn't put anything on the back of that one. So I had so much fun making those. My poor arms need a bit of a rest today though. Yes, I sat up late last night doing all the embellishing. Or I should say I sat up till some ungodly hour this morning. I was up till sunup. So it's nice and quiet overnight. So you don't get interruptions. Yeah. So awesome. Look, I've got heaps. I think there's about 14. I was 12 or 14. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's heaps all ready for next year's journals. If I start making now, I might get some done for next year. That's what I say every year, and that doesn't happen. So I hope you enjoyed that. Go check out the digital that I've used over at Whichcraft Do You Do, which I'll link down below. I'll also link the videos to my ephemera holder. There's also a code which is NAT2023 if you want to get 15% off of any digital products at Whichcraft Do You Do. So massive thank you to the lovely ladies for letting me use their beautiful kits this year. Hope to be doing more of it with you all next year. And yeah, be good, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.